Now, if you look into enterprise information systems, then there's a certain hierarchy. A certain hierarchy in the enterprise itself, in the company itself, but also a certain hierarchy in the information system. And the hierarchy has to do with different tasks of the employees or different tasks of the managers and the managing director. So what you see here in this pyramid, you see a kind of hierarchy of enterprise information systems, and each layer refers to a certain region of functions. So in the lower regions, there are functions, the lower levels, there are functions primarily for executing staff, for executing employees. Executing in this case means that they somehow take care of the process regarding the real value creating process steps. So that means that they produce actually a certain product, or they perform a service, or whatever is essentially important for the company. In the higher levels then, there are process parts which are more the managing parts of the processes, and not so much the executing, the value creating parts of the process. In the top part of the pyramid, there you see the functions which are important for the upper management of the company to do long-term planning, to support the strategy. And in the following slides, we will now look onto these different layers, talk about the perspectives important in these layers, and we will put the things together to see what actually does it mean to have this pyramid for enterprise information systems. Here in the first level, you see one basic foundation of an enterprise information system. Everything what is value creating is actually situated on this level. So that means if you produce something, if you work in production, like here in this module, then you somehow produce a certain amount of products, you create something, you create values. That means the part of the information system which is important for you is situated in this lowest level. Or if you are in engineering, you might create a drawing for the product. This is really value creating, because you create the new product, you create it regarding the design. Then you are on this quantity oriented operative systems perspective, and the like in purchasing and sales, personnel, and so on. And what you also see here is that in a horizontal way, you are on the supply chain. So that means you produce the product, you do the engineering, therefore you do the purchasing, you purchase your material, you do the sales, and you need the personnel to deliver all these activities along the supply chain. So you see a kind of horizontal connection along the supply chain. And here on this layer, it's quantity oriented. So that means the people on that layer care about concrete numbers coming out of their activities. Then on the next layer, we are in the middle part, so to say. there's more the value orientation. So that means it is still important to have certain numbers, a certain number of products produced, certain numbers of personnel acquired, or whatever is important to map as a number. But still, you have an additional aspect, the financial aspect. So you somehow do not care anymore only about numbers. You care also about the values which are created, the values which are maybe also used as resources, the personal resources, the material resources, and so on. So in this layer, actually, the financial accounting takes place, the cost accounting takes place, and this is a very important layer for the corporate financing layer, because the financial aspects are important for the goals, the goal setting, the performance of the company. Now in the top part of the pyramid, there's the so-called management information system. As the name says, it is important for the management, for the upper management. It supports decisions regarding the strategy, the long-term planning, and it reveals the inside view, sometimes with drill down into each process detail, such that you at the top, at the management, can see what is actually happening in the company. And therefore this layer, or this part, actually consists of different layers. Layers which are first important for aggregating some information. Aggregating means creating reports and doing controlling activities. Then analysis systems, analysis for analyzing the data which were created in these reports. And finally, the long-term planning systems. This might be simulation systems, for example, based on different simulation scenarios, or other kinds of decision support systems. As you can see, this top part of the information system pyramid requires data from the lower layers, requires data from the quantitative layers, from the financial layers, to aggregate actually and to see what is happening in the company. And now we can go back to the overall view again, to the overall view of the enterprise information system pyramid. And we now know there are different layers. They focus on certain aspects of the company. And if you then have the task to somehow decide for an enterprise information system, you can see first what modules of such an information system might be important. Depending on the business, different modules of such an information system might be more or less important. And you see there's cooperation between the modules, the cooperation on certain layers horizontally, and a cooperation also vertically, because there are information flowing up and down to inform the management and to do some controlling from up to down of the value creation processes. And now if you have to decide for an enterprise information system or for an ERP system, as we will discuss in a minute, then you know there are certain modules. You can choose from these modules, and you choose the modules which fit to your company, which fit to your business process. to your purposes, such that an information system can optimally support your business model.